All right, we're back, and what we're doing now is we're going to install these nuts and their, well, not just their nuts, but the components that go on our balancer shaft and our crankshaft. We're also going to install our cam chain guide here because we want to get that installed so we don't have to work around everything else. Because if I remember correctly, it's kind of a jam to get through there with this installed. So we're going to go ahead and get that into place. So what we're going to do, I'm going to look real quick at our inventory here. I'm sorry about the shade here our engine is creating over here from our light. I'm trying to show it here. We have our two dowel pins, one of them that goes on the crankshaft and one that goes on the balancer shaft. We have our washer, our nut, and our gear for our balancer shaft, and we have our 3 gears that go on the crankshaft, our nut and our washer for that, and we have our 27 and our 17 millimeter. And also we have some examples of me defacing US currency, but I use these to hold the gears together so I can torque them down. And we're going 36 foot-pounds on the counter shaft, or the crankshaft balancer. Why do I keep calling it that? The crankshaft balancer, and 79.5 foot-pounds on this. And you might have seen here, let's see, no, you might not have seen it. I've got a punch over here and some thread lock, and that's going to be for our balancer shaft. And the reason why is it's not a lock nut, and there's no spring type washer to hold it in place. And a lot of people get a bottom end sound from their engine, and it's this thing just barely loose and the washer vibrating on there, which you can eventually to some extent back off. So we don't want that to happen. That's a bad idea. So we're going to prevent that from being a problem for Link. And also, real quick here, this on our crankshaft, we do have a washer that is domed, so it gets loaded when it goes down on there. It gets loaded. So real quick, we're going to do we're going to get this into place, which you don't need to see that. I'm going to get it into place, and then we'll start with the assembly of our gears. All right, I decided to just lay this off to the side because I thought there might be some interference. We still have our washer down here that sits underneath this, and we have our bolt, our Allen head bolt that goes there. Reason why I just wanted this area clear, but having that in rough place is going to save us some hassle, trust me. So real quick, I'm looking here at my schematic that I screenshotted from the DRZ app, and I laid everything out top side up, and not necessarily in the order that they go, but this side goes down, this side goes down, and etc. So we're going to go ahead and get those in place. Also, just to make sure that I had things oriented, I also did the same thing. I looked up our crankshaft balancer shaft, or balancer shaft there. Why do I continually mess that up? I'm sorry, folks. So what we're going to do first, and I've got a magnet, my magnet pin thing here handy, and it's already showing itself as being handy. It found the 8 millimeter, but I have it in just in case I drop it or whatever. And I'm just going to place these in their corresponding spots here. So as I fumble on there, as my hands are getting cold, because I took a little bit of time. See, there's why I have it. So I'm going to find that real quick, and then I'll be right back. All right, I'm going to try to put it in one more time. I picked it up off of the floor with the magnet. It fell right where it was supposed to go. But it's a little precarious to get this into place. So I might just use my needle nose. I don't have my needle nose handy here. Might just use these pliers and put it into place. I swear this, oh great, they're magnetized, so that's great. So sometimes it just it happens like this. We've got to deal with the consequences of things being magnetized. But there we go. We're in place. I'm going to make sure that that's recessed in there the proper distance. There it is. And then we'll get our other one and get it into place. Here it is here, hiding in the shade. Hiding like Biden. Alright, so here's our corresponding hole here. That one went a lot better since it's a little larger. Okay. So, very clearly, this larger section here goes down. And I don't remember, I'm going to try this first. I'm going to put, obviously this face is up here. I'm going to put this one on first and see if I can get the other one down, because sometimes one or the other does not like to play nice. So I don't know what that was. Let's double check. Here in a second. I think it was something stuck to the bottom of my shoe. Okay, so we've got that. And we've got our washer, but I'm not going to put that on yet. I'm going to see if this lets me install it. Remember, this larger end goes down, and these marks here have to line up. So I'm going to go ahead and get this into position here. And yeah, it's going to let me, I think. So our mark here, we have to just move our crankshaft into place where it will be able to be lined up. You can see our dot is right here, and this one is right here. So those got to be lined up. Almost. Yeah. Looks like I might have to have the crankshaft one in place first, as I had previously thought. I'm going to try it for just a second here. You know, it's kind of one of those things. And I'm not trying to put a bunch of shear force on this. See if it'll go into place. But no, it's not going to let me. So I'm going to go ahead and take this off. Set this one off. Oh, come on. There we go. Magnet helps always. Okay. So try it again. There, so it falls right into place. Alright, so our notch is up here. And I might have to play with this a little bit to get it in time. Okay. There it is. So now we have a functioning crankshaft here lined up with our balancer. Let's see if I can show you this here. Yeah, it's kind of hard to do one-handed. So there we go. We've got that in time. Our marks line up, and so we're in good shape there. So I'm going to go ahead and stack these accordingly. Oh, now I know what fell off. What is this thing? Good grief. I'm going to wipe that off. We're going to do it live. I thought that's what it was. But again, I'm going to go back to our reference here. Double checking. So again, we're looking. So that piece is in place. We have our dowel pin, and so this piece goes. There's a timing for it, but we've got to get our key out. That's the one thing that I didn't get ready. Thanks for reminding me, guys. Let's see if we can just get this thing out real quick. Did I put the key in here? Or did I leave it with the... Here, I'm going to dig it up real quick. Alright, we're back. I found the key. It was hiding in plain sight. Again, just like everything else. So I'm just putting that key into place. Oh, it appears that we just need to put this piece on first. And it'll hold it in place because it doesn't spline all the way through there. See how that sits in there nice? And then we go in with this piece again, referring to the chart. It goes in like so when it feels like it. And this sits on there this way so that I'm going to double check one more time because I think that may not be right. Yeah, I don't think that's right. Yeah. So this piece does go down as it shows here. This lip, rather than the smooth side, goes up. So we'll put that into place. And then our washer. I'm not so convinced about that. It goes like this. If you look, this has an impact piece on here where it's been or a indention where it was coming into contact with that perfectly with this piece down here. So that's the way it goes in there. I think this messed me up last time on the S model. If I'm not right, we'll go back and do it because it had an interference. There's an interference. It was setting incorrectly. So I think that's right. So, alas, if I'm wrong. Now these are reverse threads on this. So it's going to be lefty-tighty on this. And remember, we said we were going to peen this. You can see this washer goes this side down. And real quick, I'm just going to contact clean off those threads just a little bit. Probably could have done a better job, but I'm going to thread lock this sucker. Bold move, Dewey. This is an older, oop, there we go. This is an older bottle of thread lock. That's a lot. I will not be doing that with the main shaft, the primary drive gear. It's not necessary. This is standard here. This is a standard righty-tighty. So we've got our torque wrench. And bear with me while I set this to 36 foot-pounds. This is kind of hard to see a little bit. Dewey, why don't you have a digital one? This one doesn't take batteries. 36 foot-pounds, and it's set to righty-tighty now. So let's draw a picture here. Okay, people. When I torque this way, it's going to pull the gears in that direction. There we are. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my nickel in there so that it'll pull it in there and lock into place. This is just 36 foot-pounds, so it shouldn't be too big of a deal. And since I said it won't be too big of a deal, it's probably going to give me a bunch of grief now. So this might not be a great shot, but we're going to try. Oh. Yeah. So you're not going to see it very good. Three times safe. But I'm not done yet. Okay. Because I don't want this sucker to come off unless I want it to. So I'm going to peen this. Just to make extra sure. So now it's peened. Now it's pretty aggressive. Now, I'm going to take this thing and put it on this side. I'm going to switch out. Now this might be, I might have to reposition to get this done. Because 79.5 foot-pounds on lefty-tighty is going to be kind of tough. But let's try it. Oh. I should have just left it in place. Why didn't you guys tell me? It's going to do the same thing. Good grief. You guys have got to watch this stuff for me. So I just have this set to 36 foot-pounds so we can do the initial. Okay. And this is going to be a little tough to get recorded, and we'll just see. There's 36. And we'll realize if I made a mistake. When we put the clutch basket on. So 79, just darn near 80 foot-pounds. Forgive me if this isn't showing up. Yeah, there's 79.5. Just darn near at 80. So let's see if I can get this to capture. And again, I've got a freaking camera strapped to my chest here, so don't insult my gains if I don't get this easily. Come on. Come on now. I'd like to use my phone a friend. Boom. So we got that. Woo. So now real quick, let's move out of the shadow a little bit. Put our cam chain guide into place here. Make sure our washer is still there. See, it slipped off in all the turmoil. I'm starting to get cold. I think this might be, I don't think this will be the end of this video. I think it might. This will be the end of this video, and we'll move on to the other components. We'll do the kickstart last. We'll do the kickstart last, but we'll put its piece on here because I want to have this side still open when we do the flywheel. Get the flywheel into place, and it's the same sort of trick that we're going to do to get it to torque as well. So we will get that, I'll get that torque down to its value. I didn't have that pre-looked up. So here we go. We've got our components in place here, and we're in good shape. So I'm pretty happy about this. Don't forget to remove your nickel. Whoop. Real quick, I wanted to demonstrate that if we had this piece here flipped, it would be coming into contact with the clutch basket. So that's why I just threw that in there real quick. Oh, there we go. That's the direction it's supposed to rotate.